Hello and welcome back to Silent Hill F. This will be the third and final installment of my thoughts regarding the game, so if you haven't already, I'd recommend going back and watching the first two episodes. After being grabbed by the fog monster, we pass out and wake up in the fox's place again. You'll recall in the previous videos that I found these dark shrine sections to be a little tedious, but I enjoyed the later ones. This is that one. It's where the game starts to get really crazy. You'll see. So the fox tells us that this iteration of our visit is one of great pain and suffering, and that we are to perform 3 rituals, and at this point in the game Hinako is heavily under the fox's influence, so we agree. Heading through the hallways and semi-mandatory combat, we uncover logs from physicians about housemaids claiming a phenomenon known to them as fox possession, and letters with ritualistic dialects which will all make sense very soon, and by soon I mean now. We are led and sat down at an altar in which some of the fox's maidens bring us a piece of a fursuit. Hinako isn't very rich and this is all she can afford. Also, we have to completely remove our arm ourselves to wear it. A serious commitment to the furry game. This thing is then stitched onto us, and that's ritual 1 seemingly completed. On to number 2. Again, more exploration and letter and combat, this time mandatory, which is fine. We just got our new furry claw, let's use it. However, for me the mandatory combat encounters didn't add a lot to my experience of the game. I'm sure there's some symbology to the reasoning and not just sandbagging for the sake of padding the runtime. Jury is still out on that one. As of the date of this video's release, I'm only on a second playthrough, so there's obviously a lot more to uncover. We make it to the second ritual where we are subjected to a branding. Now, I'm not sure what's under those fursuits, and I don't think I would like to know. But if this is what it takes to make it into the community, I think I might double it and pass it to someone else in the comments. More hallways, more letters, more mandatory combat. Third ritual. Have you ever struggled to sleep at night and used an eye mask, only for that pesky slither of light to creep in, or it just not fit right on your face? Well, never fear, because this video is sponsored by... No, but seriously, we get a face mask essentially grafted onto our face, solidifying our fealty to the fox. And remember when I said in the previous video that the pink bunny outfit is cool? We also put on this bunny outfit. This is cool, and I'll explain why later. Well, here's why. If you use the navy or white costume after receiving the mask treatment, there will be a streak of blood on your face. But if you equip the pink bunny outfit, the blood is around your mouth. Remind you of anything? We are then led down a hallway to what appears to be a wedding ceremony, and before it can all go ahead, it turns out Ringo's back and she's on fire. And I have no idea how that happened. Now this fight grabbed me by the cheeks and whispered, "The dildo of consequence rarely arrives lubed," and proceeded to throw me around for a good 30 to 40 minutes. Mostly down to a really cool design decision where enemies do a combo and then predictably open themselves up to a counter. So you learn this pattern, and when you see the combo you then react and counter them. But oh no, sometimes the attack that would be a combo is actually not one this time, and in a room where there's sometimes healing items and a single hit from the boss may as well one-tap you, this is really frustrating. So many times I could have dodged, but I was readying myself for the counter animation, only for it to not be counterable, even though it's the same animation. Whatever cock and ball torture-loving worm of a human made that decision, I am not entirely fond of you. Anyway, we beat Ringo and then wake up outside Shu's house again, only to be greeted by our faceless and very grey sister Junko, who gives us a semi-cryptic talking to about making a decision and time running out before walking outside and disappearing. We need to head home now, so we start moving back down the mountains to get into town, and it's here where we see basically the worst design choice in the game for me. These goddamn sandbagging sections where the game grinds the pace to a halt to make you fight one of those likely demonetizingly designed creatures, so I'm not going to show what it looks like. You can't pass until you beat them. Again, like I said earlier, I hope there's some kind of symbolic decision surrounding why this monster in particular halts our progress. As for the rest of the playthrough, this happens like 8 more times. We get back to our house only to find it's not actually our house. Or it is, but it's not the same. This section serves as a big information dump via a time-travelling door about Hinako's past, her connections to Shu, her parents, and a man sending her letters. Lots of letters. I'll let you all discover the deep meanings for yourself, but yeah, it's not a good time for anyone, really. After solving a door puzzle on the current day iteration of Hinako's house, we are greeted with Hinako? Only she is filled with a lot of resentment for basically everyone and wants to kill her friends, her family, and the entire town. The Hinako we are in control of completely stands against this and dispels the conversation with the other self. At the end of the house section, we are greeted by that good old dildo of consequence again and see that our actions in the Dark Shrine are having consequences in the world we are currently in. Now, there's a lot to unpack regarding this, and as of our playing a bit of NG+, the cutscenes do in fact change, so I'm looking forward to learning more about all of this. Mom and Dad have bought a dodgy takeaway and we don't want it, so they turn into monsters and we kill them. I'm not going to go deep into the theories and symbology like I said, that is for another video. We see our parents walking out of the door after leaving raw food on the floor, and for that the Food Standards Agency turns up, deems them a 1 star on hygiene and explodes their heads. This is very shocking to us and it gives us a headache. We pass out and, as you guessed it, wake back up in the Dark Shrine. This time, instead of halls, we just have rooms of mandatory combat. And at this point in the game I was way more interested in the story and I was interested in how it unfolds. I was invested. So seeing the door shut and having us be locked in to kill the same enemies we've been fighting all game was kinda lame. It can't go on like this, can it?
It can.
I'm being critical of these sections mostly because I believe the story is amazing, and these locked room combat sections I feel only serve to sever the pace and pad out the runtime. We collect more puzzle pieces to place on this huge painting and are led into some kind of ceremonial chamber where 2 rings are shared and placed into 2 statues. We wake up and after remembering what just happened to our parents and friends, we are rightfully pissed off and go on a warpath. This is great. Let's chase down this monster and right all the wrongs. Hopefully we're not constantly stopped by the same monster along the way. After that cursed story pace based edging session, we catch up to the fog monster who grabs us, and Junko appears, promptly telling the monster to kill us, which it does, and we reawaken in the fog world again. This time we are attending what appears to be the final ceremony, and after going through with it we hit top 100 in competitive gardening and reborn as the fog monster itself. How interesting. And through this ceremony, the furry Hinako has now traded places with the other and is in the main world. Again, not going to go into too much detail on the lore and the theories. Now it's time to head home and see how this amazing story comes to a conclusion. Oh, more mandatory combat? To be fair, these ones feel a little more interesting as the doll is there with the messages, so I'm looking forward to unpacking those. We get home only to find we are actually in the POV side of the Food Standards Agency doing the head exploding. Fade to black. The non-furry Hinako is now in the Dark Shrine where we head through many familiar areas until we reach the ceremony room and Junko appears asking why we are still clinging to life. We start freaking out and popping pills like there's no tomorrow, revealing an aspect of addiction to this story. Very interesting. Again, looking forward to unpacking all of this in future playthroughs. We smash up the altar and the fog monster appears to take us into a fight to the death, only there won't be death because I'm addicted to healing pills and in my inventory I have 99. So the sheer junkie strength is out of this world. We then attempt to escape the Dark Shrine, warping instantly in and out of the 2 realities as memories of things our friends and families have said play over the top. We sprint down this long hallway of pills, there's hundreds of them, maybe thousands of them. At the end of it we reach what looks to finally be the way out for Hinako, but like all demons, some you can never shake off. Thank you for watching my 3-part series looking into Silent Hill F. I really enjoyed this game, and as a long-time fan of the series it felt like a real treat. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm enjoying making these videos, so I'm sure to make more in the future, and I'm happy to hear some suggestions in the comments on what you might want to see. Thank you to the devs for making this game, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.